Welcome back, everyone. Um, Today I'm going to show you guys a tool that can help you with your setup. Um, Most of us wondering, I have the right antenna, I have the right amplifier, the cavity filter, I'm doing everything right. Assuming the network is working, why am I not earning more than someone with a similar setup? Now, most of us know that it's down to location. It's not just down to location in terms of, um, do I have a lot of hotspots around me? Let's say that I'm in London, you can see that it is, full of hotspots. Now, that doesn't mean that's good or bad, that you're going to hear someone. You can be in one part of London, but you can only hear so many because where your location actually is. It could mean that you're surrounded by mountains, it could be small hills, it could be little trees, it could be little buildings. Now, how do we see that? How do I make a judgment about my location? Now, this tool here from UI.com is quite powerful. This used to be link.ui.com. Now they have changed it to ispdesign.ui.com. This is a very powerful tool that you can use to judge any location on the map. You can pinpoint anywhere you want and see how well your signal will do or how well you will receive the signal. I'm going to show you guys quickly how you can just kind of check your location. And what you can also do is to check with your witnesses on Explorer to see if you're actually receiving anything outside of this, or everything that you're receiving is within that circumference. What we will do right now is to add a AP on the map. We will select this little tool here. We will click this, and we will then place this on the map where our actual hotspot is located, not where we set our miner is on Explorer. Now I will click here. This will automatically create a signal strength based on the default values. Now what we want to do is click this little icon here and click manual. From here, we will then click the product, click reset. Now, the closest signal we can use is 900 megahertz. We will use Rocket M900 version. Now, this gives us an idea if we had a 16 dBi antenna and 34 degrees angle, and this is the view we get. Now, let's change this, create our own custom antenna. Click custom antenna, enter the value, which is, let's assume it's an 8 dBi rack antenna, and it's an omni antenna, so let's do 360. You have to click create antenna, and it will now generate this signal view. Now, this assumes that our antenna is at 50-meter height, which is not quite realistic for most of us, and I'm going to change this to 12 meters and change the channel width to around 3 megahertz. I'm going to leave this auto, but you can change this to check your transmission. At the moment it's an auto, but if you hover over this little exclamation mark, that shows that our current ERP is 35 dBi, which is way above what's allowed in the EU. But because we want to see the furthest we can reach, we're going to leave this as is. Rest of these values, it doesn't matter because this relates to if you had a direction antenna, you can leave them as 0. It will not have any impact our overall signal, but just I like things being neat. And what we'll do is we'll change the antenna to something a bit more realistic. Let's say, we are going to witness 5 dpi antennas, and these are omnis. Now, the best thing about this tool is that you can select these each number, and they represent a station. A station is where the signal can be heard from your location. Now, what this will do is if you were to transmit and how far this could reach, and then you can see that here that we can see that the link is obstructed because there is a mountain in our way, which is great, because what we can do is, if we are suddenly wondering why my signal has never reached a particular part of the town, now we know because there are mountains, they are blocked, and you can see that even a small mountain along the way blocks quite long range. I'm going to leave this as default, the highest possible, just so that it gives us a full view on how far we can actually reach. Now, this has been Canary Wharf, and it is lots of buildings. You can see that I have no direct view at all towards West London, and north and east. I can see the signal strength. Red is obviously been strong, and all the way to blue, which you can see is a weak signal. Now, this is obviously not really correct for helium, but it just kind of gives you an idea around the distance that our signal can reach from our location. Now, you might be wondering, if you're in the dip, that you can clearly see that on the map. Now, let's move this to somewhere a bit more outside of London. Let's go somewhere like this, where South London. You can see how bad the signal is for us, because we are surrounded by mountains, and the signal will not be getting through, and it's not a great location. Now, you can have all the best antennas, amplifiers, cavity filters. There's nothing you can do in this location because you do not have much access to signals from other people, or your signals traveling because of your area. Hopefully you found this tool quite useful. It is quite powerful. It is a little bit complicated. However, if you do play around with it, it will be the best tool you can be using. Recently, I have moved my miners from this region around here to somewhere a bit more North London, and the reason for that one was that even though in London I was witnessing many hotspots, my earnings were not as high. Now, looking at Explorer, I realized that there are miners with higher transmit value in the north, but also the location meant that I was surrounded by hotspots, but I was also in a dip, which meant I had more chances of hearing these hotspots and nothing outside that small region, which made it quite perfect. Now, this could be a blessing and a curse for some people. You might be in an area that in the dip where there are no other hotspots, and that is a bad thing. However, in my case, it was the opposite. Using this tool, you can pinpoint it anywhere on the map. Using the AP option, it will give you an idea how well your location is. Hopefully you have found this tool quite useful and powerful, and help you with your location, or potential new location. If you have any questions, please do drop them in the comment section. I will definitely try my best to help you. If you're on Discord and you have seen my name, do feel free to send me a DM. I will happy to help you. And yeah, hope you found this video useful, and catch you guys on the next time.